Hi, my name is Amy Knight, and I'm a group exercise instructor and a personal trainer here at the Aspen Club and Spa. And the class I just taught was our ski conditioning class. It's actually a program that is 7 weeks long that is preparing for skiing. We start the class in usually the second week in October, and we run it until the day before Thanksgiving. So it's a pre-ski conditioning class. It's to prep your body and make it strong for skiing. We conclude the class the day before the lifts open. And the reason we do that is because it is it's a very technical class. It's also very strenuous and very hard on the body. And it pushes people really to their limits. So you can't take a class like that and have it on the schedule all the time, because you'd end up with a lot of injured people because it's so strenuous. So it's really a program more than like an ongoing class, like say a step class. There's 3 phases, and then the last week is a tapering week. So just like when you prepare for a race, you train and then you start to taper right before you do your race. Well, we start to taper down to a more phase 1 type level right before we end the class, before we end the program. Phase 1 is 2 weeks, phase 2 is 2 weeks, and phase 3 is 2 weeks. And then the last week is the tapering. We offer it 3 times at noon and 2 times in the evening. So it's a total of 5 classes a week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I never encourage people to do a double. I know there's some people that like to do that, want to do that, and I basically won't let them. If you want to get the most out of it, ideally you should take 3 times a week. I have been teaching this class for 17 years, and I have been coordinating it as well as teaching it, being the primary teacher for 15 of those 17 years. I actually start in August to start tearing the previous year's program apart and putting into things that I really like to keep in and what worked, and taking out things that didn't work. So I do start in August, and I'm working hard up until we start the class. I schedule all the instructors, I train all the instructors, and it's very rigorous, so it's very formatted, so they have to be trained to do it exactly the way I need to have it done. That's part of why I teach so much of it, because I want it done perfectly. For each of these classes, it requires more than one teacher. Not only for just motivation of it, because we are completely packed, but for the way the format is. We start together, and then we split the class so that each teacher has approximately 11 people, 11 to 12 people. And you just focus on that group for 2 sections of the class, and then we come back together. It makes it more manageable. Without that, we probably couldn't take as many people into class. So by doing that, we make it very manageable and very more interesting for the people that are taking it. The slide is lateral training. It's probably the one, if not the most important component of the class, of the whole class. People do not walk sideways. We walk forward back, so we're very strong in our quads and hams, and we are not in our lateral muscles. And for skiing, you have to have them strong and balanced. So really, it's probably one of the most important components of the class. And it's very hard, very difficult to do. Get your heart rate up really high. It'll get you sore, but it'll get you strong. Like I always say to people, if you work out and you don't feel anything, then really nothing's happening. I have to take these people from, some of them, borderline couch potatoes. I mean, you can't live in Aspen and be a true couch potato, but that I don't see any other time but this time of year. I have to take them from their current fitness level to a extremely high fitness level, and they will get there, but I have only 7 weeks to do it in. So I do push, we push them. They keep coming back, so it's kind of a love-hate thing that they have going on with this class. favorite part of the class is the dancey cool down, believe it or not. I mean, I love all the parts. They're all different. I love the class because there's so much variety. But, you know, I gotta say I love to dance, and I like that part because I like to see people that don't normally move like that, like especially a lot of guys. They don't think they can move, but they can. And I just let them be free, and it's very relaxing. And unfortunately, it's only in phase 1 that we do that because of time restraints. So in phase 1, we dance a little bit, and that's what makes our class really unique, I think. You know. You know, this class is interesting because looking at it, it's all physical, and it's about preparing for skiing, and it's about preparing for boarding, but there's some other things involved. It's about people feeling successful and overcoming some obstacles, like coming into class with some orthopedic problems and not knowing if they'll be able to complete it, and then the fact that they do complete it and become stronger, and their orthopedic injuries or whatever their problems are don't bother them quite as much because they've become stronger. And it's about, you know, not thinking, you think, oh, I'm never going to be able to get through, this is so hard, and then us as teachers push that person and support them, and they feel so successful at the end of the program because literally they'll change so much. Their bodies will change, their strengths will change, they will become fit. But not only for skiing, it's not just about skiing. It's not about just prepping for skiing. It's about strengthening your body and your mind.